Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CPS report, and we are back with another fight recap of the UFC Fight Night. Whittaker taking on Aliskerov. With me breaking this card down is none other than my guy, AD Fantana. How's it going, Broski?
What's happening, bro?
All good, all
Happy
good.
to be here again. Yeah, happy to be here once again. It was a very good card, and
That
as
was a
always,
fabulous one.
very excited to get into it.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Let's not actually waste any more time. But before we do, for everyone out there, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the notification bell to stay in touch with our latest content. AD, as you say, fantastic card. As you can see on the screen there, it only shows round one. The fight did not go 5 rounds the way we thought it might have. Robert Whittaker taking on Ikram Aliskerov, and Robert Whittaker got him out of there within the first round. 1 minute, 49 seconds on the clock, and he just looked absolutely deadly. You did say something that I need to point out, which is very important. And I'm not sure if this made the difference, but I'm putting it for the floor to answer. You did mention Ikram not having a camp for this fight and took it on short notice, and that could pay dividends in this fight. Do you think that was one of the main factors in this one, or do you think that just Robert Whittaker was just ready to go out there and showcase why he's at the top of the food chain?
Yeah, I mean it's you can't say it wasn't a factor if he had more time to train for the fight. I'm not saying it would have been a different result, but I
Yeah.
think he would have had a lot better of a chance. But yeah, Robert Whittaker obviously just showing his class, bro.
Mm.
Just showing why he's been at the top of the division for such a long time. His first finish in 7 years.
7 years.
So yeah. So it
Shocking.
just shows. Yeah, but the thing is, he's obviously been fighting like the highest caliber of
Yeah.
opponents throughout that 7 years.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, just showing that there's levels to the game, bro. And yeah, he looked like a man who was training for war, bro. Because he was
Literally.
training for Khamzat. So, but he looked super sharp, like you said, super deadly. And yeah,
Yeah.
again, just showing why he's been at the top of the food chain for such a long time.
Such a long time. Yeah. The thing that makes it shocking for me is because it's not like Whittaker has taken like back to back defeats and in the last 5, 10 years. You know what I mean? He's only really lost against the champion twice to Easy and once against Trickers, right?
Mm.
Other than that, he has been in very close encounters where he dominated most of those fights. That's why it's what's shocking to see because he fights so intensely, so bloody. And like, oh, he didn't actually knock any one of those guys out. He just, he outpointed them. But what was different in this fight was that what we were talking about in the preview is that what they're gonna do differently, and what he did differently was utilize the power shots a lot more. Overhand right is exactly what set up the finish. Like he overhand right leg kick, and then went for the uppercut and close off the fight. How do you feel? Like, what do you take of that attributes of Whittaker, like bringing that into his game now, showing a bit more of like a knockout side of him rather than the guy that was just like much quicker than all the other middleweights?
Mm. Yeah, I think he definitely has the potential to. I mean, he's shown it. He's been at the top for a long time.
Mm.
So yeah, I think for me to get a fair assessment of whether he's like taken that step to evolve as a fighter to really be a title challenger or even a champion, I'd have to see him against a higher ranked opponent. So like
Mhm.
Strickland, I think the Strickland fight will be a very good like measuring stick of
Yeah.
where he's at, if he's ready to take that step to become a
Mm.
champion, or yeah, if he has more work to do.
Absolutely. Did you see the? I agree with you. I mean, we both spoke about it, and we said that he should probably get Strickland next in this one. But did you see the tweet that went out with Hamza Chimaev towards Whittaker? The one where he was like, where he said, Alex Kirov, don't worry, hold the head up high. Whittaker, good performance, but our work isn't finished. We still have to throw down, kind of thing. So it's almost like he's alluding to that he still wants to have a crack at Whittaker. Um, what I'm asking is if he takes on Whittaker, if Whittaker takes on Chimaev instead of Strickland next, is Chimaev going to be that kind of caliber opponent you're referring to instead of Strickland?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that would be fair to say it is Khamzat again, but Khamzat also hasn't like faced
Yeah, that's not
many top level opponents, man. I mean,
exactly.
Kevin Holland short notice, Kamaru
Yeah,
Usman short notice,
yeah,
and especially now at 185. I mean, he's had one fight, right, and it was Kamaru.
yeah.
So And yeah, it's shown that even in 3-round fights, he has the tendency to lose steam.
He
And
does.
yeah, look, I mean, you can't argue with the man's record, bro. He's ran through Oaks
Yeah. Facts.
supremely, but
Yeah.
he hasn't been tested sufficiently. So I don't know if, to answer your question, I don't know if, I think it
He's
would
gonna,
definitely be, we could definitely say something about that fight, but I don't know if we can call Hamza at that top level yet, man. He
No,
definitely has the potential to be that, but I
yeah.
don't think he's proven it yet.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Eddie. It's hard to disagree with that because although, like you say, he's been superb, and this is Hamzat now. He's been superb in a lot of why he's fought, and you've seen all the finishes and stuff like that. But a lot of those fights were never really, how do I say, regulated within divisions. Like this is your division, you're going to stick to. You're going to crack in this division here. A lot of the fights were almost designed. You know what I mean? To fit him because he's fighting welterweight, and he's fighting middleweight, and he's fighting welterweight, and he's fighting middleweight again. He's never really like back-to-back welterweights or back-to-back middleweights, and then that's the one he's going at. And also, you would argue that the Kamaru Usman fight, he looked good, but did he really win it? You know what I mean?
But who else has he fought at middleweight?
It's the catchweight fights one. So when you fought Kevin Holland, that was a catchweight fight. It wasn't at welterweight. When he fought all these fights, they weren't really designated.
Kamaru was his first official middleweight fight, right?
But it wasn't because Kamaru Usman is not used to not ranked in the middleweight division. So that fight was announced that they would meet in the middleweight division to fight there, not in the welterweight.
Okay.
So it wasn't. It was technically also a catchweight fight. It didn't really register it under a weight class, like a designated weight class. It was still catchweight, yeah. So that's why it's like I agree with you. Hamza, he beat really good names. He didn't really go and chase down a division yet, you know. And then you can say,
and also like he's had problems making weight in the past. Like there was at one time when he came in while overweight.
Yes,
I think he was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, and he came
fought
in
against,
and then he fought Kevin Holland that night.
He also fought against Li Jialang, that lightweight Asian dude, and it's a lightweight, and they fought catchweight as well.
Yeah, so he needs to get his act together, my bro.
You find a division and stick to it, like Kevin Holland as well. Yeah. Stick to the division. But anyway, it was a fantastic performance from Kevin Holland. From Robert Whittaker, and he puts himself in pretty much a driving seat now going forward. You can pretty much say, give me Sean Strickland, or let me wait for the title after Izzy and Drickus, right?
Yeah, look, I think the Strickland fight is pretty much decided because there is a championship fight at 305. So I think they'll probably run that fight, and then, like we said, the winner of that fight gets the champion.
Absolutely. And for the other side of that coin, Aliskerov, I think it's safe to say that you must just keep his head up and when you've lost against the guy that was technically a champion, like, you know what I'm saying? He's not even a ranked fighter in this team yet. So for him, it's more like, at least now you can gauge where he's at against the champions on a short notice and give him a chance to reset himself and have a crack at this division again. What do you think?
Fair play to him for taking the fight. I mean, it's a mammoth of a task having to beat Robert Whittaker, bro. Especially Robert Whittaker is training for someone like Hamzat, bro. His intensity is going to be so high.
Yeah.
And it was just too much for Aliskerov at the end of the night. And just uppercut that finished the fight. So clean, bro.
No, Whittaker, you can never really question the man striking. We know it's really elite level. So, it was a bit of a treat for the UFC fans to see that kind of finish. So well done to Robert Whittaker. But we move on. Co-main event saw the battle of the two Russian who were friends, apparently former friends, according to the media that's coming out of it. Pavlovich took on what's his name, Alexander Volkov, and stand-up fight like we predicted was going to happen. Although with the two predictions we were going by was either first round finish from Pavlovich or a third round decision win from Alexander Volkov. And it turns out that our second prediction came out spot on. Wonderful fight. I mean, we watched it back, and there was a moment where I was like, is either of these guys going to take the scuff of the neck and actually put one of them out? It felt like it was like two friends sparring, but also not sparring, because they obviously were trying to land on each other. But especially Pavlovich was trying to push it, but it just felt like he was out of range every single time he tried to close that distance. Volkov kept his deep kicks going, and he kept the fight on the end of his jab, which ultimately helped him navigate the fight in his advantage and outlanded him, outlanded Pavlovich, and deservedly so got the 3 points. What do you make of that performance? Does it give Volkov the opportunity now to actually call out maybe a title shot or possibly number one contender fight?
To be honest, I think what would be a liquor fight would be him and Cyril Gane, Volkov, Cyril Gane. Have they fought before?
I think they have. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have fought before. But we can pull it up.
But yeah, I was thinking that would be a liquor fight. So yeah, but I think Volkov masterclass, bro, just showed that he was the better technical fighter, like you said in the lead up to the fights. Yeah, but I used his feet.
2021 when he lost. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe run that back.
Maybe run that back.
Yeah, maybe run that back depending on because I don't think Gane has an opponent at the moment, right?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so possibly that, but I don't know if he's done enough for the title. But then again, bro, who is gonna fight for the title? Because like, you know what I mean? The heavyweight division is so like this bra's injured, this bra's like missing for a few days. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. But anyway, for me, maybe not enough for the title shot yet.
Yeah.
But a great performance. Again, showed why he was the better technical fighter.
Yes.
I thought his footwork was excellent in the fight. Like you said, managed to keep Pavlovich on the end of his range the whole time. So yeah, very good performance, and yeah, it was a liquor fight to watch.
Absolutely. Do you think that if Volkov had maybe got a stoppage in this fight, would that have increased his chances of calling out?
Yeah, I think that would have done him a lot more favors. Taking nothing away from his performance though, but you know how these things are, bro. Like if it was a viral knockout wheel kick, then he would have been like in the conversation.
Absolutely.
But yeah, So yeah. No, I was just gonna say he just showed that he had more like options available to him.
He had more tools.
He's throwing kicks, tools available. Throwing kicks, like you said, his deep kick. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Pavlovich didn't even throw. He really didn't throw any kicks in the fight, and he mainly was trying to set up 1-2 and then overhand right, and he was using that 1-2 to close the distance. But every time he used the 1-2 to close the distance, he would literally walk into a jab or deep every single time. And I want to give Pavlovich props for trying, but hey, I think the thing that was a big surprise for me is that I had forgotten how massive, how tall Alexander Volkov really is. His range is scary long, dude. And I think that played quite big of a factor into this fight, because I think that's probably why Pavlovich couldn't really land anything the way he would want it to. Eh?
Yeah. I think that's fair. But again, I think what stood out especially for me again was just how Ali was moving around. I think that's the best I've seen Volkov move, like probably in his last 2 or 3 fights. Because like you said, he's usually quite not static or like stationary, but he's a bit more methodical in terms of just moving around and like finding angles. But I think he moved his feet. Yeah, I think he moved his feet very well in this fight.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't disagree with that. But let us know in the comments what you guys think out there. Who do you think that Alexander Volkov's next opponent should be in the heavyweight division? Should it be Cyril Gane, or should he wait it out for a title shot between Tom Aspinall and whoever Tom Aspinall fights? But we move on. The next fight that took place on the card before that one was, we saw Calvin Gastelum who took on Daniel Rodriguez, and balls to the wall kind of fight. It ended up exactly the way you said it was going to go on. Like, these guys had nothing to lose. They can't have a run at the title, even though Calvin Gastelum said that in his post-fight interview. But these guys are coming off losses, so they had to go out and put on a show, and they did. They really did. They actually went all 3 rounds, and they actually were banging it out. And the fight was actually closer than what it looked like, or what the statistics would show, or even giving Calvin. I don't really think it was unanimous. What do you think, Eddie? Actually, the part of me feels like it should have been a split decision, because Daniel Rodriguez wasn't completely dominated by Calvin at all.
Yeah, again, it was a good fight. Very happy the way it panned out, of course. But to answer your question, I do think Calvin did enough. I think he especially showed like later on in the fight, he mixed it up with the wrestling, and I think that was enough to secure the
4
victory for him.
takedowns.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think he did enough, and yeah, fair decision for me. D-Rod, absolute dog, bro. He took some heavy shots, and he showed a lot of heart. And Calvin as well, bro. He's just like a fucking unit, my bro. Like they both, yeah. It was a very well matched fight in terms of chins, bro. So yeah, very entertaining. And yeah, I heard D-Rod got a 5-fight contract, so fair play to him, bro, for showing up.
A 5-fight contract.
Yeah, he got signed for another 5 fights.
Okay, that's cool. That could be a couple of years, maybe 1 year fight, 2 fights per year.
Well, I mean, he's 38, bro, so he'd probably do it all in a week.
Do it all in 1 year. But yeah, that's good. Good on him for getting that. As in terms of Calvin Gastelum, do you share the same sentiments that he shares, the way you were sharing in the Octagon, that he wants to have another crack at it? He wants to actually have another crack at the title run. Do you think he can actually do that in this particular weight as well, middleweight division?
Yeah, he has to fight at middleweight, bro. He can't, because he had weight issues in this fight as well.
Yeah, he didn't make the weight.
Yeah, so he needs to firstly sort that out, and I don't think you can be talking about title shots if you're not even making weight. So yeah, one thing at a time for me. But yeah, it was a very entertaining fight again, and yeah, hope to see more of Calvin Gastelum and his chin, bro.
And his chin. Yeah, me too. I mean, I've always been a fan. Like I said in the previous one, like followed him all the way from the Tough House, and his career. I watched all his fights, literally all his fights in the UFC organization, and I always wanted to see him achieve that status of being a champion because I felt that he could, but the biggest enemy he was facing was himself and his weight issues, and that's why we haven't really saw him make it there. But anyway, let's give him all the praise. He did fight really well. He did show some classic Calvin Gastelum combinations. Good granite chin, wrestled. But I think he still looked like he needed to sort his weight out, and I think that's gonna forever hold him back if he doesn't get it fixed. Anyway, we move on. The fight took us before that was Shadow Magomedov taking on Antonio Tocoli, and also a fantastic fight. Went all the way until the last of round 3, and that's when Shadow Magomedov got the finish. Big, what's the word?
Controversy.
Not necessarily controversy, but the Magomedov guy came into the fight with a lot of hype around him. There we go. I don't want to say praise, but a lot of hype. Being a fantastic kickboxer. We were saying this. They were saying it's a beat all night. It's a beat number 2. It's a beat number 2. He didn't look that great. He looked average for me personally. But at the end of the day, he did get a slick finish, and I think it also paid dividends to the fact that the other guy, Antonio, kind of like just got gassed out. You could see after round 1 he was gassed out already, and he was just trying to survive round 2 and 3, and then Shadow Magomedov got the finish. How do you feel about his performance? Is he all the hype, or does he still have levels to go before we can start really considering him as like one of the elite MMA guys?
I think he definitely showed potential and like indications that he could be a very good fighter. I would agree with you that I don't think he was the finished product on the night. But yeah, definitely showed potential. There was a bit of controversy about the fence grab though, bro.
Oh yes. And so, that was when he was getting taken down, and then he grabbed the fence.
Exactly, a blatant fence grab, bro, and it was just a warning.
You know what was interesting about that is in the last few events of the UFC, I've noticed that there's been a couple of fence grabs that's just gone unnoticed. Back of the head strikes they look right past it, which is so weird. And the thing that surprised me the most about it, that's not your usual suspects of referees that make that mistake. This was referees like Mark Goddard, for example, who is really like a fantastic elite referee. And then to not see stuff like that is really shocking.
He was reffing this fight.
Yes, and my question to you is that did that make a big difference in the result of the fight? Because that was round 2 when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. And if it goes to ground, bro, who knows? Because we've never seen this guy tested on the. Well, I haven't seen him tested on the ground.
I haven't seen him on the ground either. Yeah. And
So
he's more known for his striking anyway.
exactly. So who knows, bro? If he got taken down, I think Tricoli probably still had like at least a minute or so to work.
Yes, yes.
At that point in the round. So it's difficult to debate hypotheticals, but it definitely would have changed the momentum at that point anyway.
At least, yeah, because Tricoli was on the offense at that moment. But unfortunately, he didn't get the win. Shadow Magomedov did get the win, and that now does give him a chance to, keep that win streak going and keep the hype train going along with him. I'm not sure who he should get next. I mean, he's an unranked opponent, so he's probably going to get another unranked opponent first before we start seeing him taking on the ranking guys in the middleweight division.
He wants
Anyway,
to fight Kevin Holland.
Mm,
I mean, he called Kevin Holland out, but yeah. But Kevin Holland is the kind of bro who would take that fight. You know what I mean? Just to like
he
put
will.
on a show.
Yeah,
but
he
I don't
will.
think he's earned that. He hasn't earned, especially maybe if he like had a better performance on the night.
Maybe. I mean, he got the finish, but I don't know.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
wow.
didn't set the stage on fire. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There was no wow factor in it. I don't think he will get Kevin Holland, but unless Kevin Holland, like you say, he will probably take it because he's the kind of guy. He takes money fights, and I mean, hate it or not, but Shadow Magomedov does have a good following. There's people that are really hyping this dude up. So I think whoever gets him next is probably going to be a well watched a fight for sure. There's going to be eyes on that event. But okay, congratulations, Shadow Magomedov. Now we will move on to the closing or the opening fight, the closing for our recap. We saw Johnny Walker, aka Jedi, that faced Volkan Oezdemir, and I kind of predicted this one. I had a feeling it was going to end up the way it did, if I'm being honest here, just because of the styles of the two fighters. Watching them stylistically, I didn't really see anything that Johnny Walker was going to land that was going to get him the win, other than some kind of, I won't say lucky punch, but a punch that he could have landed if they were going to get in some kind of wild exchanges, which they didn't, by the way, because Volkan Oezdemir is that slick. He knows how to navigate the fisticuffs. He's really good at doing that. And it showed in this fight. He dictated the pace. He knew exactly how he wanted to box against Johnny Walker. Yeah, Johnny Walker backstepping from minute one. And even when they got to close boxing ranges, Johnny Walker didn't throw anything. And I think that's you got to highlight that's because of how Oezdemir, he's got a very high guard and he keeps the space moving and he keeps him mobs in the way that while he's moving forward, and he had Johnny Walker guessing and ultimately made him land the knockout blow. Fabulous performance. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like you called it in the build-up, Oezdemir showed that he was the more technical fighter. Johnny Walker just can't fight going back, and I think he got exposed on the night like really badly. So yeah, but he put him on his back foot, didn't allow him to do any of his awkward, unpredictable techniques. Yeah, but I got the finish in once again comical fashion, bro. Johnny Walker getting knocked out in very strange knockouts, bro. The way he goes down, but yeah.
Hilarious. Look, there was a ranked fight. I mean, it was a ranking fight. It was ranked number 7. Volkan Oezdemir was ranked number 9. And I think the win for Volkan, it does keep him in the conversation. It really does, considering who's in this division. It does keep him in the conversation where we will be in and around contending. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to get the title again. I mean, the champion is Alex Pereira, and if you go down that list of Alex Pereira, Yuri Prochazka, Jamal Hill, it's freaky. There's scary oaks out there, and Volkan Oezdemir, I just think the age might be the factor here. I think he might have had his opportunity when he was fighting with TC. Now I think he's going to be one of those gatekeeper kind of guys who will just be outside of the top 5 all the time. But what I'm asking now is that he beat the number 7 guy. Do you think that he deserved the right now to call out top 5 ranked fighters in the middle light heavyweight division?
Yeah, I think maybe give him Rakic, bro. Give him Alexander Rakic. Because I don't know who else is he gonna fight here. Maybe Khalil Linktree.
Ferranti got hurt. He's out for a while.
Yeah, so there's Krylov or Rakic, and I think even Rakic would be like a fight.
Yeah, they can put that together. Maybe still in this year for sure. But for Johnny Walker, what's next, though? What do you think this guy needs to do next?
He needs to work on his defense, bro. And he needs to try and find a way around Oaks backing him up. And I think he needs to, just work. It seems to be like a technical issue that he just needs to kind of embrace the more technical side of fighting and stop trying to be this just unpredictable power punch who can end you with like one fight, because he got exposed on Saturday night. And hopefully he'll learn from it and add that to his game, because he's a very entertaining fighter to watch when he does pull off some of these wild ass knockouts, bro. But he's gonna get exposed against more technical fighters all the time. And like I said, he really got showed up on Saturday, and hopefully he'll go back to the drawing board and work on that, improve.
He's gonna have to.
I don't know who he's gonna fight next. Maybe like
he's gotta fight down the division now.
So like there's Anthony Smith.
Yeah, he's got to fight though. Anthony Smith's fighting this weekend, I think. So
who's he fighting? Is he fighting Ulberg?
He's fighting on this card. That's the was it 305? Is it 305 this weekend?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So 305, 303. So I think
303. Sorry.
He might be on this. Yeah, Anthony Smith is fighting on Roman. Dolidze, the Georgian.
Where's this one?
Dolidze, I've seen in the past. Yeah, he's unranked.
He's unranked, yeah.
So
then
he lost to Marvin Vettori and Jack Manson.
Dominic Reyes, maybe.
He hasn't fought in a while, like for quite some time now. The point is, he's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to fight that way. And I think you're right. Anthony Lionsmith will probably be the one. If Anthony wins come this weekend, he's probably that will be a good name for him, and he's probably gonna need it because, geez, I wanted to point out, like you say, a lot of his successes come from such wild exchanges. And one of the big things that was in this fight against Volkan Oezdemir is that Volkan eliminated the space so that Johnny Walker can't do the capoeira things. He couldn't
do anything,
because the space was taken away. It was completely nullified, and Volkan just stayed in close to him like that. We're gonna box, and that's how he lost against Somalia as well. By the way, it's exactly the same way. So but he's gonna have to learn how to not only like amplify his striking offense, but also his striking defense and utilize more lateral movements. He can't go back just in a straight line. That's how he got caught. You can't go back in a straight line, and then you go back into a cage. Now you're distant. Now your movement is completely taken away from you. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, he's got a lot to work on. He's very, very entertaining to watch, but from like an enthusiast perspective, I never really considered him to be someone that's going to challenge for the top of the light heavyweight division. I really don't. If you consider the top 5, it's like he's so far removed from them. I don't know if he'll actually get, But anyway, it was a fantastic event. Very, very, very exciting. And we had such a lot of fun watching it together. Thank you so much, Eddie, for doing that and for also recapping the event. Also, for you guys out there, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Myself and Eddie and possibly Jedi will come out to you guys this week when we preview the UFC 303. Alex Pereira taking on Yuri Prochazka 2. That will be this weekend. And we are coming up with our preview for that event. So on that note, like I said before, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Ciao.